Hi guys, I'm going to review a video called "This BS Needs to Stop" by the channel Raise Your Edge.
The world has changed over the last couple of years. In this video, I want to address a few things that really bother me. I do believe there is a lot of and bullshit being spread in the media, around social media, from a lot of people that, in my opinion, have no clue, and is very, very dangerous, very, very toxic, and especially for men. Most of my audience are men. I'm a man. I can relate with men much better. I see a crazy amount of men being desperate, frustrated, on the verge to commit. The messages that I receive, it's absolutely astonishing. And I also see in general people getting dumber and dumber with all that that is being produced out there and all the entertainment that is literally like a disease for an adult's brain, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and all these platforms. And this is
so far so good. He has really bad dark eye circles, under eye bags.
Buckle up, get ready, and you might really get triggered here. The last couple of years have been a lot different than before, and it definitely has shaped me quite a bit. I've seen social media now toxifying people's mind more and more than ever. You see fake people, fake lives on social media, left and right, people chasing likes, rewards for literally nothing, for posting dark face pics, stupid TikTok clips, and that makes you dumb.
I agree, it's a really dumb generation for sure.
For that, you're being rewarded as the creator with some likes and attention, and you feel good for technically not really accomplishing anything, just for a superficial post, an edited fake version of yourself, getting your likes, your dopamine spikes for something fake that you're really not. And social media doesn't
very good points.
Show who you are, rather someone you would like to be, and then others buy into this. And especially young minds and young adults believe things that are not true, and this is really, really dangerous. And then so-called woke people are indoctrinating our minds with so-called toxic masculinity. I have enough of this. Men are getting weaker and weaker, testosterone levels are dropping from year to year, and people telling you it's not that simple, giving you...
Yes, the testosterone levels are dropping because, firstly and foremost, of course, humans eat absolutely unnatural garbage, so-called food. Most of it can't even be called food because of how man-made it is. If they would be drinking blood, eating raw animal organs, also some testicles, then their testosterone levels would be a lot higher. And of course, if you combine these grain-based diets with working out, which also lowers testosterone, exercise in general, then it's no wonder that the testosterone levels are so low now.
Excuses to be lazy, telling you it's fine to be weak.
Yeah, that's exactly what lowers testosterone.
To stay in your comfort zone, to be a slave.
Yes, he said to stay in your comfort zone and to be a slave. When has a slave ever been allowed to stay in its comfort zone, to be comfortable in any way at all? Slaves are pushed to do what they don't want to do, whereas when you're in your comfort zone, you do exactly what you want to do. That's when you're healthy, happy, your testosterone is high, because you're doing exactly what you want to do naturally in everyday life. That's when you feel the best. Whereas slaves do what they don't want to do, and they go out of their comfort zones because they get brainwashed by the media. So for example, as you could see, the guy was lifting man-made metal for no reason at all. He was lowering his testosterone, probably destroying his joints and generally stressing his body and decreasing his lifespan because somebody simply told him that he should go and lift man-made weights for no reason at all. That's slavery. That's being out of your comfort zone.
You remain a slave in the system, right? You work really, really hard. You give it everything, but you're not really getting anything from it. You live from paycheck to paycheck. You probably
yeah, and you also don't get anything from lifting man-made weights in some man-made building where people watch you and then make videos out of that, and then you post it on Instagram, just like the stuff that you talked against just before about TikTok, Instagram, and all of that. Working out is done for the same exact reasons. Working out is only done for other people. If you were the last human being left on earth, you wouldn't be working out, because you only work out because you want to be accepted by other people.
That being in debt, even though you're working yourself almost to death. I'm in a lucky position where I am doing pretty well in life. I see myself in that responsibility to tell people, hey, this is not the way you should go. There's a different path that will lead to more fortune, to more wealth, and ultimately to more happiness and health. Yeah, but people...
Fortune and wealth could indirectly lead to happiness if you would, for example, get the best possible food with that money. Money doesn't exist in and of itself, but you can trade it for things which are actually tangible. So in the case of Brian Johnson, this millionaire who's killing himself slowly, he could actually increase his lifespan by consuming natural food. But just because you have this fortune doesn't mean that you actually know how to use it, unfortunately.
People telling you these days to not pursue all the dreams you have because it is so complicated, talking you down, being toxic, being negative, maybe because you're not talented enough, you're not rich enough, you're not fit enough, you're not smart enough, and you buy into that. And even from your friends, family, but especially on social media. But listen, this is a huge lie. It's the biggest scam. It is simple. Everyone is trying to make things so freaking complicated. You don't need most of that is trying to be taught out there, to be sold out there, trying to make money off your uncertainties, of your all of your desperation, frustration. It is simple. Get enough sleep, put your phone away, eat nutritious food.
Get enough sleep, yes. Put your phone away, yes. Eat nutritious food, yes. But as far as I've seen, he eats a plant-based, almost vegan diet, which is the least nutritious food on earth. Plants don't have over 15 micronutrients. If you want to eat the most nutritious food, then you gotta eat raw animal organs and drink blood. That's the most nutritious and healthiest food for a human being.
Workout, meditate.
Workout, meditate. Very contradictory because meditation actually decreases stress in the body, whereas working out increases stress, adrenaline, cortisol, and everything to try to cope with this stress.
Get daily sunlight exposure and your
sunlight exposure is good, yes. So he's mixing bad stuff with good stuff. He really doesn't know what he's talking about overall.
Your life will be okay.
Had that third failure in a row. Did you think I need to pack this and go?
The guy who's creating robots, AI, to enslave humanity. Reject society. Walk your own path. Don't let them stop you. Yes, reject society. It's not at all as if bodybuilding and, in this case, using steroids, obviously was created by a slave society of weak men who are insecure and want to change their bodies. If you were happy with your body, then you wouldn't be working out. It's always an insecurity. Everybody who goes to the gym doesn't like their bodies. There's no exceptions to this. You have to become strong mentally and physically, which this guy isn't. He's an absolute slave, and he's probably gonna die very soon. That's how he looks like. There's a heart attack incoming.
It's that simple. And your testosterone levels will be back to normal. Your drive will be higher than...
How are they gonna be back to normal if you lower them by exercising or whatever he means? Most of the stuff that he promotes causes stress in the body, which automatically lowers testosterone. And injecting it, especially some synthetic form of testosterone, is obviously not what you should be doing. But I don't know why he was showing this guy just now who's on steroids.
Ever. For example, I don't coach people who I can see have not the attention and level of focus that is
He also doesn't really look like he works out.
required to soak up the knowledge that I have to share. It is a waste of my and their time and a waste of their money. I tell them to go, get some proper sleep, get some sunlight, eat clean, move their asses, and then we can get to work. But otherwise, it's pointless. And I see...
Why would you move your ASS and then go to work? Then you would have less energy for the work. It doesn't make any sense.
the same in life. You don't need fucking hacks or some complicated 64-step guide to happiness. It's damn simple. Get that in your head. The questions I get from people on social
He's very aggressive, very frustrated.
media about and what they think, what they need, and where they want to go, and especially how they want to get.
All that I keep looking at are those dark eye circles and the under eye bags. It's just as if I can't look away.
I am more than never committed to raise more awareness around this topic. Men burning out, being desperate, not knowing what to do, being confused, end up being suicidal, taking drugs, gambling away their fortunes. Wow, a poker player talking about this who benefits from gambling addicts. Well, listen, if I have a choice to push a button to never compete against a gambling addict, I will do so. I don't coach anyone who has the slightest traits of being an addict, who cannot afford playing poker, nor being in the emotional state to compete in poker. You can decide to listen to your government or the media who wants to sell so you stay in your hamster wheel and you remain a slave of the system.
Stay in the hamster wheel. I get what he means, but it's kind of funny though, because when you go to the gym, it's as if you are on a hamster wheel. You're running in a circle. You're going to the gym every week just to pump yourself up. And some people actually do run on a sort of treadmill just to age your body and just to die quicker, which is a hamster's life in a cage. It's just funny that he doesn't realize it. He talks against the government, but then again promotes exactly what the government wants you to do.
I would call out people for their bullshit. If it insults you, I don't care. Keep crying and complaining. And especially people saying, nobody understands my life. Yeah, sure. If that's what you believe, keep buying into the same shit and you will stay exactly where you are. Or get your shit together, work out, eat clean, work on your projects, cut out the bullshit you don't need, and stop listening to people who make you weak and dumb. I had enough of this the past 2 to 3 years. I never reached so many messages, people being desperate, not knowing how to pay their bills, being by their government, by restrictions and whatnot. They work really hard, they put in their time, they're trying to provide for their family, but they're not really able to provide their family and they're being desperate for help. I'm still shocked so many messages that I get from people being so depressed that they want to end it. So something needs to be done. I definitely won't change the world with our 95,000 YouTube subscribers, but maybe we can change the life of at least one person who can derive some inspiration and motivation from this content and change something in their lives. I am happy to trade this one person against hundreds or even thousands of subscribers.
He has great motivation, but his advice is horrible. It's only going to make people even unhappier.
Who don't want to hear this content. I know that this is not necessarily like the poker content, the entertaining content. Some of you will say, stick to poker. But listen, thank God I got there where I am today of not being desperate for some likes and attention from some internet losers. If I want to make content tomorrow about underwater Mikado, I want to do so. I don't care. Because that's the ultimate level of happiness, being free and not tied to some people's opinions or desperate needs of trying to deliver what they want. No.
Yes, exactly. But then again, you promote a lot of stuff which is exactly like that.
Oh, I can do whatever I want. And I do see this as an important topic. I want to talk about it and I want to help men getting out of this rabbit hole and sharing my experience, my knowledge about poker, not only poker, but also the 2 or 3 businesses that I've built, and to share what I know about becoming successful and also living a fulfilling life.
It's funny because this guy actually has videos where he tries to walk for 24 hours straight with a backpack on.
Approaching the 60 kilometers and it's getting really rough. It's getting really rough. Why am I doing this? Why the fuck am I doing this?
He's literally trying to suffer as much as possible by achieving absolutely nothing except for decreasing his lifespan by walking with heavy weights on his back for no reason. Really strange.
And I want to use this platform to not only share poker content, but also raise awareness around topics that concern us all, and especially men. Topics that will improve your life, make you mentally strong and disciplined. Because that is what is required.
You shouldn't be disciplined. Only a slave can be disciplined because discipline goes against your intuition. Whereas if you follow your intuition, it goes against discipline, seeing as discipline is man-made. That's when you start living naturally, and that's when you become happy and healthy. Whereas if you're disciplined, you have to go against what your body wants, and it always ends bad.
To be successful in poker and for everything else in life. And we need more men to wake up, to get their together and understand what is going on. And I highly recommend you watch the video Why the Average Person Can't Win in Poker. Working out 3-4 times a week, 20 to 30 minute workouts, it's not a lot of time, and it's an investment in your body, it's an investment in your mind.
Investment in your body by dying quicker. How do you invest in your body exactly? Really, I would like him to name something. There are no health benefits to working out, so what could he possibly name?
That will bring you so much more happiness, peace and freedom into
happiness, peace and freedom. That's why you go on 24-hour walks, which he couldn't even actually finish. You want to suffer, but you talk about peace and happiness. Everything that you do goes against peace and happiness.
your life. If you don't have the time for it, please then don't complain that you're in a place, then it's all your fault. Joe Rogan shared a beautiful quote on his podcast. Hard times create hard men create soft times create soft men create hard times.
I've heard this quote a lot of times, and it doesn't come from Joe Rogan. It actually comes from this author here. It's from a fictional book. It doesn't make any sense at all. Hard times create strong men. Completely illogical, because hard times, stress, any kind of struggle only weakens your body. Every injury also decreases the cells in your body, and you become weaker. Any kind of damage, this has been proven scientifically, always weakens your body, and it just depends on how much you weaken it. That's exactly why nobody naturally wants to go through so-called hard times. Everybody wants to have good times. If you're happy, all that you want to have are good times, naturally. It's just so illogical. And then they say strong men create good times. Yes, technically you could say that. The thing is that you're not going to get to be a strong man by going through hard times. That's a whole problem here. That's why the saying doesn't make any sense. And then good times create weak men. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. That's the least logical part, because good times create the happiest, strongest men who have high testosterone, are happy, good to be around, and have good genetics. A good example of this would be going through famine. If your body is malnourished, then your children will most likely also be, or will at least have some kind of genetic faults, be smaller, as in shorter, and have a lower bone density than the father or the grandfather or the father of the mother. The genetics will simply be damaged in some way. Whereas if the family went through good times and didn't injure themselves or damage their bodies in any way at all, then their genetics would be completely intact if they also got the perfect food, which they're supposed to. No famine whatsoever. Good hunters, they always got food. They never had to fast, as in starve themselves. Then the children would also be just as strong. But if there is any suffering, then automatically, if you go through hard times, you're gonna be weaker, and all of the generations that will follow. And because we have gone through such hard times in the last centuries, especially the last one, the slavery that we experienced, we have become so weak. And weak men create hard times. That could be said, but the whole problem with this saying is that these hard times is what created these weak men that we have today. And in nature, when you don't have these hard times and you eat perfect food, you generally live a happy and healthy life. You only have good times, and it's impossible to have hard times. Then how would it be possible? Completely impossible.
And we're right now in times of soft men and hard times. Masculinity doesn't mean oppression.
The thing is also that Joe Rogan tortures himself. I recently made a video which he was in, and you could see that he was taking ice baths against his own will and talking about how life is all about seeking pain and suffering. How could you take advice from this guy who has a very hard life, who's super miserable?
Oppressing women or being toxic, oppressing masculinity and pushing this dangerous agenda of condemning men, trying to be strong, to pursue challenges, making money, providing for your family,
Providing for your family is all normal. I also don't know of anybody who has said that that's somehow wrong. In nature, you would provide them food, and nowadays we work for money which doesn't exist, which we then can trade for food because other slaves believe in this worthless paper or the numbers in your bank account. But seeking challenges is not something that you would naturally do. I don't know what he means by challenges exactly, but if he means something which could injure you, or even possibly something that could endanger your life, then you would of course not do that.
Protecting your loved ones, protecting traditional values of family, of brotherhood, will lead to very, very, even harder times. You need to wake up. I'm really tired of this sheep mentality, especially in Germany. The German middle class is being completely over right now. And I'm certain, as in many other countries as well, they're almost working in 2 jobs just to put food on the table. It's absolutely crazy in a country like Germany. One week a politician says, hey,
Germany is basically the worst country on earth. I'm not joking.
and a month later he can say, oh, I never said that. And people move on and think, oh yeah, it's fine. And those guys are still in charge. It is utterly crazy. This cheap mentality. Look at the resumes of German high-rank politicians. That's the biggest clown festival ever. I wouldn't even invite them for interviews to clean my toilets. They have not achieved anything. A lot of them don't even have a degree, no experience. And they're supposed to lead our country through this crisis?
Yeah, because you need to have connections to become a so-called politician. That's about it.
Go check for yourself if you don't want to believe me. It is crazy, the level of incompetence that is in charge right now. And people are still obeying and believing that the government and the big companies do really care about people and want your best. Good luck with that. Unfortunately, in these days, the majority of
He's right about that part.
people just cares about their comfort. As long as I can scroll on my TikTok, watch hot tub streams, get my daily consumption, have my weekends, and be in this constant duh.
Yeah, but that's being addicted and depressed. It has nothing to do with comfort. A comfortable human being can also go hunt, walk, move his body, and spend his day with his family, just how you naturally would. It's not about laying on a couch watching TV or something.
Mode. Beer. Football games, yeah. If that is what you live for, quick short-term dopamine rewards, congratulations, and from day to day you're carrying yourself.
I don't think that playing online poker is really different.
For these dopamine kicks, but you will regret it sooner or later, and that pain will be a lot bigger than the pleasure from your dopamine kicks. And if you try to become a professional poker pro with these kind of habits, you have no chance. And it will get harder from year to year. And at some point, you wish you would have waked up earlier. They are giving you exactly the minimum. The entertainment, the distractions, everything. We're living a comfortable and happy life. Man, turn off.
Nobody is living a comfortable and happy life nowadays. The reason people are not happy is because they are not comfortable. It's because they need to work all the time. It's because the media every day says that you should work out as much as you can. And even after work, go and work out. As a woman, go and run, maybe even run a marathon, a mini marathon, and become infertile and have children when you're 35 years old. By the time you're infertile already, for sure.
The TV, stop watching mainstream news, stop watching porn, start reading some books, build your own opinion based on your own learnings, experiences and research.
Yeah, but nothing that you talked about is really coming from your own experiences. It's not even your own beliefs. All of the stuff that you said, which is supposedly good for you, you learned from somebody else, such as Joe Rogan, who's absolutely miserable himself. His ideas are kind of correct in a way. It's just that he doesn't understand how to actually live your life naturally, which is the only way to be happy.
Research, and not based on the news that is being presented and more importantly, being altered before it's being presented on TV. If that is your main source for discussion and debate with people, man, GG, good night.
Good game.
Start reading books. And more importantly, apply it. Not just reading it, learn it, understand it. Learn from people and heroes that are successful and happy. Learn about Stoicism, study, apply it, do something, detox your mind, go in nature, find the things you want to achieve in life.
That was the best thing he said so far. Go in nature. These forests that we have nowadays are not really natural anymore, but still, it's the best thing that we have.
The people you want to have in your life, surround yourself with those people. People that are positive, people that lift you up, but people that also criticize you in a productive way and call you out for your bullshit because they only want the best for you. Start taking action, build something substantial. Stop blaming everyone around you. Blame yourself. Stop being a victim and stop being weak. Stop bitching around and craving for validation from your friends, spouse and family. Rather create validation. Something you can be proud of. I mean, what?
Why do you then make videos of trying to walk for 24 hours straight? What are you trying to prove? It's done for validation.
What are you really proud of? Building your knowledge and experience based on watching the news? Your daily consumption? You're proud of not being fit, of being alone? You're proud of being poor, which is all your responsibility? I know it is hard as a man. I know it is okay to show emotions. I'm not saying never cry, whatever. That's also bullshit. But it is more important to control your emotions and to use that energy to achieve the things.
You should never control your emotions. A real masculine man always shows his emotions because he's not afraid of what anybody is going to think about him. No man or woman, he could even start crying if he feels sad or if you feel happy. It wouldn't matter to you if somebody believes that you are weak, for example, which modern society would want you to believe, because you know that you are strong. Nobody's opinion is going to change that. But if you're weak, then you are going to try to control your emotions and you're always going to look at what people think about you. How am I supposed to react to that? What should I express right now? Should I laugh? Should I not? What is she going to think about me? Oh no, that's a weak man.
You want to achieve. Your mental, your mindset, it needs to be stronger than your emotions. Please, for 2023, remember that all this adult entertainment is like a massive disease for your brain, for your attention, for your level of focus, and will also negatively impact your relations if you don't have it under control.
Overall, his message isn't even completely wrong. It's just that, as I said, he doesn't understand how to actually become happy, how to stop this pain and suffering that men are experiencing, how to actually become strong. You're not going to become strong by going through hard times. It's only going to make you even weaker. Men need to realize that they need to start living comfortable lives. They need to start listening to their intuition instead of completely going against your senses and doing what you don't want to do by going to the gym and moaning all day long, or by seeking pain and difficult challenges which are going to make you even weaker. It can only possibly damage your body. Trauma is never a good thing. Stress is never good for the body. Even on a purely biochemical state, you will kill and damage your cells when you experience any kind of so-called mental trauma. A lot of people believe that when they go through trauma, as in even their girlfriend leaving them, that it's somehow purely mental, whatever that means to people. Whereas in reality, it happens in your brain. It does kill your brain cells and a lot of cells in your whole body. People somehow don't comprehend this and believe that they are going to come out stronger out of something which can only make you weaker. That's why humans avoid all stress in nature. They realize that if your loved one would pass away, for example, that it would kill the cells in your body. They don't understand it on a biochemical level, but they realize that they would feel a lot worse and that it would make them a lot weaker. Thanks for watching.